Hello everyone, this is General Hand Grenade. We're back at the kitchen table today and it's Sunday morning and I just got up and I was just admiring my handiwork from the last couple days. I thought I'd just make a real quick video just to show you what I've been up to. So you might have noticed the title in the video and thought I was going to talk about something else, but I'm not. If you watch my channel for a while, then you know that it's all about the little plastic army men, and that's all. So this is the old Americans. This is the color that I had them in. This is, I guess it's a Sherman tank from the Axis and Allies Global 40. Pretty unremarkable. I don't really like these ones too much. You know, they work and everything. But anyway, what I don't, like I painted these, this color, and I thought it was going to be good, but after a while I just, you know, I don't like it. I don't like the color of it. It's just, for me, it's just too dark. Like I preferred the out of box color, the olive drab, but the problem is that when you're buying 3D printed pieces and you're buying custom infantry and stuff, then you're not going to match, right? Like you can paint it a green, but it's never going to match that green, right? And I kind of like my pieces being all the same color. So I found another thing here. Let me just show you. So this is the new color that I found, and let me just pick it up here so you can see. I really like that color, and it's a matte finish as well. It's not a glossy finish, and so it's a little bit more texture and everything. So I really do like that. I bought it to try to match the 1914 pieces for the out-of-box British, because I was painting up a set of them for my friend Robert down in the United States. Anyway, so I thought, oh, that's the, yeah, just a second. This is the one I was talking about. Yeah, so this is, I think, let me just see. Oh no, that's the one, yeah. So anyway, I painted these up, and then I liked the color so much I did my Polish units from World War I in that color. But I did the weathering process. If you watched my last couple videos there, you know what that means. So this guy was the same color as that, but once I did the weathering process on him, like the weathering didn't really show up too much, but it does show more detail and everything, right? And the color darkened up a bit. Like you can see the difference in color. So I like both of those colors, but I like this color more, you know, with the horse here. And so I thought that I would do that, and oh my God, that's a lot of work. Like I've got a lot of units for World War II, right? And with the Americans, I mean, there's lots of units available. I've been buying a lot of battleships and everything, and anyway, like this is my elite Marines, these units here. So this one hasn't had the weathering process done yet, and this one has. And so then what happens afterwards is I've got these chips here. This is, there's a set of chips you can get. So this is the 4th Marines, and they're all different. Like, here, let's just grab another couple here. There's the 4th Marines, and then we got the 5th Marines, and, you know, and anyway, so there's a whole set of these chips. I think there's like 10 or something of them. So then I just glue these guys on here, right? And then I'll be done. I had to unstick them because they were glued on with this paint on them, right? So I had to take them off the chips and scrape them a bit, you know, get the glue off. But anyway, I thought that they turned out good. So I'm getting further down the road here, but I had to remember, okay, well, I've got expansion sets and stuff. They're not necessarily in the American boxes, right? Like here is a B-24, I believe, B-24 Liberator from the Battle of the Atlantic set. So I tell you, doing this weathering process, you got to be really careful at the best of times that you don't break things, right? Because you're manhandling them the way I do it. And you see that little thing on the top there, like that's pretty pliable, right? And so I had to be extremely careful doing that, right? But anyway, I really like the American set because of all the different units that are available. And you can understand why. I mean, the people who put this out, Historical Board Gaming, they're an American company, right? So of course they're gonna have lots of American units. Lots of German units as well, because people are fascinated with German units. So like just the fighters, for example, there's a Corsair and there's a Lightning, and do we got here? There's a Hurricane. And this is a Mustang. So, oh, not in the picture anymore, am I? So there we go, like that, you know, just 4 different kinds of fighters just alone, right? And of course, there's my heavy bomber that I'm using, and that's from the heavy set from the Americans. And this one here would be from the heavy set, or no, this is from the regular set. This is the bomber, so I'm using these as my strategic bombers, and these ones for my heavy bombers. Anyway, I just really like the color that it's come out as. These are not finished though. The other thing I have to do yet is paint the wingtips like I do on my planes and my ships. I paint the tips of the ships as well, just for ease of identification, right? And, you know, I admire people that do the detailed painting, you know, where they paint the faces on the guy, and, you know, like his belt is a different color and his boots and everything. Like, it looks stunning. It's beautiful and everything. But aside from the lack of patience that I have to do that and the steady hand, I don't like playing with the pieces like that. Like, to me, those are more of a work of art. And I'm not disparaging anybody that does that. Like I said, I think it's gorgeous when they do that, and I admire it. It's just, for me, these aren't just little army men, right? They're game pieces. And so for ease of identification, I like my Americans to be all the same color, and my French to be all the same color, and my Japanese to be all the same color, you know, and so painting them all the same color, and then just doing the wingtips or the tips of the ships. That way I can see them from across the board. Like, I can be 4 or 5 feet away from them, and not just me, but anybody playing the game can be that far away from them and still see which one's which, right? So anyway, let's just take a look at what else I've got here. Let's get these out of the way. I did the whole thing, like, and I'm still not done yet. I've still got a few hours of weathering left. Like, here, let me show you here. These guys over here, you can tell the difference. See, those are darker and these are lighter. So these 2 pieces of cardboard here, they still need the weathering process done to them. I don't think I'm going to weather these ones over here. These are the bombers. I think they're B-29s. Actually, there's 2 sets over there. There's the 2 in the back, and there's the 1 in the front. I don't think I'm going to weather those ones. I don't know what it'll look like on silver, but the point of these was not to make them look dirty like my World War I pieces. It was just I like the color, the combination of the 2, and the color that it produced. So there's my infantry. Most of them are custom infantry. Some of them are historical board gaming stuff, you know. And over here, like, you get the mountain infantry and airborne, and there's some of they're actually Rangers from the America set, right? But I use them as the elite Marines. And then you got all the different ship types here, like these pieces over here. That's the balloons from the Atlantic set, and these are let's focus here. These are the Buckley cruisers. So anyway, that's pretty cool as well. I like the fact that he puts the name on the bottom of them, because most places, like when you buy the 3D printed pieces, that's not on the bottom. So you kind of have to remember, you know, what they are and everything. So you can see how much work I still got left. All those wingtips have to be painted, and then of course you have to put the clear coat on, right? Here we are. There's Easy Company there. I always love this guy, the guy with the mohawk. Let's get him up here. Focus. Yeah, I love this guy. He wonder, where's his helmet? You know, it's covering his ass where it's supposed to, right? Anyway, so I got a bunch of different types of carriers over there. When I bought, I tried to buy some Iowa class battleships, and they came in a set of 4. You got 2 battleships and 2, I think these are Enterprise carriers, but they were too big. They turned out to be too big. And so I can't use the battleships because the battleships just look huge, you know, like they take up 2 sea zones. But the carriers, I thought, yeah, you know what, I can use that for. I can use it for the heavy carriers, right? Because you want to be able to fit 3 planes on a heavy carrier. You see the hole in it there, that's where my flag goes. Makes it easier to pick it up. And then you look at the bottom here, and you can see I've got 3 magnets on there, right? So when you sit the planes on there, then they don't fall off. Like you can actually pick it upside down, right? But what I've really been doing lately, Doug's got a lot of these things now, is these battleships here. So everything but I think these ones over here, these are the Iowa class that I got from Shapeways from a different manufacturer. But then you got the South Dakota battleships. I use the Iowa for the heavy battleships, and the South Dakotas I use for the fast battleships. I don't know that they're a fast battleship or anything. It's just that I needed a sculpt to use for a fast battleship. But some of the other ones I had to buy off Shapeways. But now he's stocking in just his regular 3D printed pieces on the website, the HPG website, and that's great because it's just a fraction of the price. Like I think these are only $2 each. These battleships. Like there's the first one there. Let me grab some point with here. So these ones here, that's the Tennessee. Let me look at these ones here. See, like this is what I like to. Okay, so these ones are the Pennsylvania. And then we got, that's the Colorado. This one is just the coastal defense ship that I use. Like that's that old battleship that you can get on there. I can't remember what it's called, Norger or something, I don't know. Anyway, I've got 2 of each of those battleships, but he's also got a couple more battleships now. He's got a Montana heavy battleship, and I think it's Iowa, the USS Iowa. So that's kind of cool that you got so many different kinds of battleships that, you know, like, so when I put them down on the board, it's not all going to be the same Axis and Allies battleship everywhere, right? Like you're going to have the Colorado and the Pennsylvania and the Tennessee and the South Dakota and the Iowa, and it's kind of cool that way. I mean, if you like playing with a little plastic carbine men as much as I do anyway, right? And here, you can also buy these now too. These are the Alaska class cruisers, or battle cruiser, sorry. So these are a really nice piece. There you go, the Alaska. So he's selling these now on the site. I was able to get them ahead of time. Like he sent out a bunch of them to me before he started selling them. So I've had these for quite a while now. Anyway, so there's those. And then you got the, these are the Baltimore heavy cruisers, which in Axis and Allies would just be a regular cruiser, right? So this piece here would be no different than your Axis and Allies cruiser. This would also be a heavy cruiser in the Global War game, 36 game. But you can see the difference though, like the HPG pieces are so much nicer and so much more detailed, right? Like I haven't used their battleships in a long time because there's just so many options now. But yeah, look at all the difference in detail between these 2 cruisers. Just really, really cool, right? Anyway, there's those. And what else do we got here? There's the light cruisers, and these are also just plastic ones. So you get them 5 for $3 or whatever, 3 something. So that's nice. You don't have to spend too much money on your light cruisers. What else do we got here that's a little out of the ordinary? Like a lot of the pieces are still just Axis and Allies pieces. Like here, this is what I'm using for. I don't think he has this one available yet. I was able to get a whole bunch of them. So all of the Allies and the Russians have this sub. This is the Nautilus, and I'm using this for the what is it called? A super sub? It's the technology one anyway. Whatever the term is, you know, the advanced submarine, I think it's called. Yeah. So then I just paint the tip here and the tip over here red, and that makes it easy to identify it from a regular submarine, right? Anyway, so there's that. And I don't, other than the Buckley class, I don't have any special destroyers. I don't mind the destroyers. Like, you would recognize this one easily. That's the Axis and Allies destroyer. I mean, to me, that's probably good enough. I don't know. Someday I might get him, right? I think he's got some now. Yeah. So this is the attack transport. It's called the Haskell, and this is an American attack transport. And I'm using this for all of the different nations, except for Japan. Japan had something I was able to find off Shapeways, a different kind of transport, so I'm using that for their attack transport. You don't need very many of those, though, like the Americans do for sure, and the Japanese need a few, and the British need a few. But I mean, most nations aren't going to be, developing that technology, because they're just not going to be doing a lot of amphibious assaulting, right? But the Americans obviously are, right? And so having those is going to be a huge advantage over having a regular transport, because a regular transport, if you know the rules for 36, it's really, really difficult to amphibiously assault a territory, because you're only using your infantry on the first round. But with the Haskells there, with the advanced attack the attack transports, you get to drop anything off. So you can go with your dude and your tank, right? They would work like a transport would an Axis and Allies Global 40, right? Think of it that way. You get a dude and something else, and you get to put that something else down on that first round. And the theory is that those ships there have the type of platforms that you can just roll a tank right off of, right? As opposed to the other transports where you had to get into a landing craft and sail into the beach, right? So anyway, that would be the difference with those. So anyway, that's all I got. I don't want this video to go on too long. I just wanted to show you that, because I've been pretty busy with it. So what I'm doing here is these guys, they get weathered, and then they go over here. Like, this is the card that I'm using here, the cardboard thing. And so once that's filled up, then I'll be done, and then it's onto the tip painting, and then onto here. I'll just show you those. This is the paint right here. There we go. That's the paint I'm using. Rust-Oleum Camouflage, non-reflective finish, ultra flat, blend with terrain. It goes on pretty chalky. There's the French side. Anyway, I really, really like it. So there's that, and it says bonds to plastic, right? That's something that you really need to find. And then all of my Axis now, or all of my pieces for the 36 game, have been done with a spray like this, except for it's a glossy one. But I'm finding that I don't like the glossy too much. So this is going to be a satin clear, and it's not. Then it won't be shiny, right? It's not going to be as dull as the World War I pieces, because that's one that actually dulls it even more. This is just going to make it look just like they are, right? It's just a clear coat without a shine on it. And so that's the one I'm going to use. And then that's the thing that I'm weathering it with there, the Minwax Poly Shades. That's the antique walnut stain. Anyway, that's me today. So, take care, everyone. General Hand Grenade out.